That is the last frame rule that will ever be saved. It took 5 years, and this is a perfect run.
A huge new milestone just happened in Super Mario Bros. Speedrunning. Several years ago, people were just starting to tie the TAS, or in other words, play a perfect run, up to World 4.
I've never been to 4-1 this fast. Literally tied with the TAS.
Now, years later, one man can say he tied the TAS to World 8. And by man, I mean teenager, and by one, I mean 2, because Nifsky also managed this 10 days later. But anyway, today, let's talk about the first time anyone ever got to 8-1 this fast. First, I need to take a minute to talk about this video's sponsor, HelloFresh. Sponsors like these allow me to devote more time to my videos, so I really appreciate their support and yours. HelloFresh is a meal delivery service that makes it really easy to eat well every week. I know I found myself recently not knowing what to make, struggling to find a good recipe, or forgetting an ingredient at the store, but HelloFresh solves all of these problems. It's really easy to find something delicious among all the options, and they even have special seasonal recipes. Once you pick some of them, a box will arrive on your doorstep with everything you need, so you're sure not to forget anything, and you can save yourself a bunch of time and stress. And since it's all pre-portioned out, you can waste less food, because you won't have way too many hamburger buns left over. If you want to try HelloFresh, use my link or go to HelloFresh.com and use code POGCOSMICOG16 for 16 free meals across 7 boxes, plus 3 surprise gifts. And once you click, my description will live update to count up the purchases. Saving new time in Super Mario Bros. Is no small task. In fact, no new time-saving techniques have been discovered in 13 years. I know that might sound confusing since the world record has constantly been pushed down since then, and the whole topic of this video is about a new time save, but the truth is that none of the time that humans have saved in the last 13 years is new. It's all just been finding realistic ways for humans to match what a computer can be programmed to do. With every passing year, speedruns of this game have always evolved to become more and more TAS-like. The number of precise tricks and frame-perfect inputs have just skyrocketed. It all started with the wall jump in 8.4, then the bullet bill glitch in 8.2, then eventually the flagpole glitches, 1-2 clip, fast accelerations. The tricks have gone from simply pushing A in a 60th of a second window to now being long strings of exact inputs required for the tricks to work. And matching the TAS in 4-2 definitely continues this trend, with multiple input chains that must be done in exactly the right order and on exactly the right frames in the level. It is so much more involved than any other trick in this speedrun. Yeah, holy cow. Alright, so what exactly is going on amidst all this? The premise is that you need to get Mario to go down this pipe without scrolling the screen past this point. That makes the pipe send you to the warp zone that you'd usually have to take the vine to get to. The basic method to do this is to jump backwards into walls, and every time you do that, the screen freezes for a bit, and Mario gets farther towards the right side of the screen. You need to get Mario at least an extra 20 pixels to the right. Each one of these bumps usually gets you 8 to 10 pixels, which leads most people to use 3 bumps to do the trick. It is possible in 2 bumps if you get 10 pixels from both, and that's already tough, but even that is not fast enough. We can save time on one of the bumps by doing it in the form of a wall jump off of this pipe and then doing a precise entry. This wall jump only nets you 9 pixels though, so you need a very precise bump off the earlier block that actually gets you 11 pixels. All of this together, done at top speed with a good pipe entry and warp zone movement, will just barely be fast enough to make the frame rule, or a 21 frame cycle for loading the next level, which means you'll be in World 8, 0.35 seconds ahead of the current world record. That's the whole concept laid out on paper, but putting it into practice is another story. The reason all of this is so precise is because of subpixels, which is a term some of you may dread because it can be hard to understand, but don't lose hope because I have a good analogy that should help. Let's say every pixel in Super Mario Bros. Is 1 inch wide. That would mean that a subpixel would basically be the same thing as a 1/16 of an inch. Even though Mario visually only appears in this one position, internally he could be at any one of 16 positions. And that goes for every pixel in the game. These tricks we're talking about, like getting an 11 pixel bump, are so precise because they require subpixel perfect positioning. Mario's running speed is 40 subpixels per frame, so that means you only have a 1 in 40 chance of landing at the exact right spot. And in reality, it's even more precise than that, due to some other factors like acceleration and vertical positioning. So the real odds of randomly getting this perfect bump would be 1 in 640. Thankfully, runners have figured out exactly what they need to do to get this bump, so it's not random. The problem is, you have to do exactly that. And once you do, you're only halfway there, since you have to do similarly perfect inputs to get this wall jump with perfect positioning, and be able to stop on the pipe at the exact right spot, and with the perfect amount of speed. Let's just go ahead and count the number of frame perfect inputs required here. There's one here, a down press to manipulate Mario's position. There's 4 here to do the perfect bump. There's 1 here, releasing the jump. There's 4 more here to set up for the perfect wall jump. There's 1 here, releasing the jump. There's 1 here, jumping off the pipe. There's 1 here, doing the wall jump. There's 1 here, releasing the jump on the very next frame. There's 1 here, releasing right on the perfect frame. And there's 1 here, pushing down to go in the pipe on the perfect frame. That's 16 frame perfect inputs. And once again, most of these aren't as simple as just push a button on the right frame. They're strings of inputs that are awkward and physically difficult to perform. All of this is before the warp zone as well, where you still need to not lose time, and sometimes you need to save extra time in the warp zone if you lost a couple frames leading up to this point. So you can do 4 more frame perfect inputs to make up 2 frames as needed, and that means there's upwards of 20 frame perfect inputs just in this one level, all to save 1/3 of a second in this game. That is the current state of Super Mario Bros. Any %. I retired from this category after my last record in it at the start of 2020. The biggest reason for this was that after playing this category at top level since 2013, I'd had my fill of these same 8 levels, honestly. I wanted to be able to focus on other categories with 52 levels or even other games entirely. But another major factor in why I'll never make a full return to SMB1 any % is actually hand health. Getting a world record level run requires tons of practice so you can be consistent enough with the tricks to pull them all off in a row. It was already taking a toll on my hands, but these days it would be significantly worse. Here's a video of Miniland's hands while matching the tasks in 4-2. You can see he basically has to shake his wrists in order to switch between left and right fast enough. Miniland and others are experiencing hand issues from playing this category, and they're still 17. To everyone out there, take hand health seriously. Be sure to take breaks when playing games or using your phone or your PC. And I also put a link in the description for really helpful hand and wrist exercises you can do. I do them before streaming or working on a video, and it really helps. Alright, now that I'm down off my soapbox, I just want to say huge shout out to Miniland, both for his incredible world first milestone in Super Mario Bros. And for his immense help with this video. Go check out his task tie to World 8 in its entirety, as well as his Twitch channel. The way things are going, we'll probably see him or someone else tie the task all the way to 8-4 within the next year. But that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and subscribe for more videos like this.